yung hot topic, witness Ramil Madriaga. Attorney Ferdy, I know you're not part of the defense team. I know you're not part of the House prosecution team. Given your expertise in trying to assess credibility of witnesses, at the same time, weight of evidence, ano po ba tingin niyo, sir, kay yung mga sa sinabi ni Ramil Madriaga, is it enough to establish what we have defined as probable cause?
Yes, alam mo, kumpanyero, the credibility or lack thereof of Mr. Madriaga has been debated to death. Even in between the very short time that he has testified, last 14 yata yun, ano, if I'm not mistaken. Ngayon ay, ano ba ngayon? 17? 17. It has been debated to death, and I think everyone and his mother has an opinion. May mga nagsasabi, hindi pwede yung siya ay nag-form ng OVP, etc. Hindi na po ako magdidwell doon kasi I know it would be carrying coals to Newcastle pagka dinibati ko pa or i-discuss ko pa ito. At syempre, to be candid, I will always say that he is not credible dahil I am part of the PDP. Biased po ako. Biased ako. Although, you can see for yourself the basis or the foundation of my saying that he is not credible. The bottom line is, and eto, kung gusto ni JV, makipagpustahan tayo ako dyan. It does not matter anymore whether Madriaga is credible or not. That committee is prejudged to finding probable cause. Pustahan tayo 1 milyon. May probable cause yan, oh. Yung 100,000 mo manalo ng 1 milyon. Pupusta ako, itatransmit yan.
Meron.
Alin?
May probable cause.
Hindi dahil may probable cause, dahil prejudged na ng committee. That committee has standing orders from the House leadership. I-transmit nyo yan. Yun lang ang bottom line yan. Huwag na tayong maglokohan dito kasi i-discuss pa natin yung procedure, yung credibility ng witnesses, kung tama ito, tama ron. Walang tama, walang mali. Ang bottom line dyan, ipapatransmit yan. Kaya nga sabi ko, kung may natitira pa silang hiya sa kanilang pagmumuka, ay i-transmit na nila. Of course, they will not do that. Why? There are also understanding orders na i-demolish yung karakter ni Vice President Duterte sa pamamagitan nitong hearings na ito. Kaya nga sabi ni JV, saan ba nila nakuha yung probable cause and they're trying to find probable cause. It's not that kinuha nila yung probable cause. Naghanap sila ng dahilan para magkaroon ng mahabang hearings para sirain si Vice President Sara Duterte because they are doubtful of conviction. I'm not saying maakwit, ha? Hindi naman ako si Nostradamus o si Madam Auring. Namatay na nga yata yun eh. Hindi nga niya nahulaang matatalo siya sa eleksyon. Di ba makapong konsyal yun natalo. Pero sinasabi ko sa inyo, ha, mark my words. JB, 100,000 mo manalo ng 1 milyon, itatransmit sa Senado yan.
Itatransmit.
Yun, ito mo.
Attorney JB, but the thing is,
tapusin ko lang. Para sa akin, of course, I will always respect the decision, the opinion of these people. While we differ, I'm glad that I am among friends na we really agree to disagree. Para sa akin, itatransmit yan. Number 1, bakit? Sinabi na ng House leadership na itatransmit. Number 2, magkakaroon ng mahabang hearing para sirain si Vice President Duterte. And not because there is probable cause. Okay, then JV will explain why he believes that there is probable cause.
Allow me to explain.
Allow me to explain. Balik mo lang.
Okay lang. I'd like to hear your reaction kasi sinasabi nga dyan, there are standing orders already according to Attorney Ferdy.
I do not know if there is any.
Pero ano sa tingin mo?
Ito tingin ko. The Supreme Court has defined an impeachment process as primarily legal with political characteristics. Ayan ang definition niya. So we stand by that because the Supreme Court is the one who defines it, what the Constitution is. Pero, I think I will go along with the analysis of former Chief Justice Puno. You see, impeachment was not placed under Article 8 under the judiciary. So, hindi binibisa talaga yan technically. It was not placed under Article 6 in the legislative because it is not a legislative work. It was placed under a separate article, Artikulo 11. Article 11, which is far removed from Articles 6 and 8. Okay? And subsequent yan, subsequent, Artikulo 11. Now, why is this? Because the Constitution wants to exact accountability from high officials. Ngayon, what is impeachment really all about? According to Chief Justice Puno, you can break down impeachment into two stages yan eh. One is the political stage. That is the exclusive prerogative of the House to initiate. Ang sabi lang naman ng Constitution, exclusive power to initiate. Yan. Now, with a vote of 1/3, there is a provision in Article 3, Paragraph 4, that if there are already 1/3 of House members,
Proceed.
diretso na yan eh.
Proceed.
There is no need for any finding of probable cause. There is no need for any hearing. Sabi ng Constitution, and it's a plain, simple reading of the constitutional provision. If there is 1/3, you should bring it immediately. It will form the articles of impeachment. It will be filed in the Senate for the trial forthwith. Now, the trial is now the legal stage.
Let's stop
It-
muna.
it's- no, I just want to add this.
Wait lang, Atty. Stop muna natin doon sa legal, sa Senate.
Kasi yung credibility- yung credibility ni Madriaga.
Let's focus on the political muna. Yung
Yeah,
political muna.
okay. Yung political
Yes,
muna.
yes,
Then we go to the legal.
Let's not
Yung
worry
political. Kaya hindi ako makikipagpustahan kay Panyero Perdi. Kasi, whatever the House wants, kahit na political ang basis nila, you have to respect that. Kasi the Constitution gave them that power eh. Ngayon, alam nyo kasi, problema sa atin, our structure of government is Republican. Nakahiwalay yung executive, nakahiwalay yung legislative. Kaya tayo may impeachment eh. Ginaya natin yung mga Amerikano. In parliamentary countries, there's no such thing as impeachment. Why? Kasi, vote of no confidence, tanggal sila. Tanggal yung Prime Minister, tanggal yung executive. And what is a vote of no confidence? Hindi ba political yan? So, why did the Constitution give the power of to initiate impeachment to a purely political body? Elected yan eh. These are representatives of the sovereign people. Kaya hindi pwedeng pakialaman dapat ng mga unelected high officials like the Supreme Court, yung prerogative na yan, that it should be respected. So, with all respect to my dear friend and kakosa, Father Robert, kasi baka may tingin din siya double standard, bakit dinismiss naman yung kay Marcos? Bakit itong kay Sara yung tinuloy-tuloy, nagpa-finding in probable cause? Well, it's a very technical thing. The first stage in the process of the House is the determination of sufficiency in form and substance. Yun muna eh. Actually, yung sufficiency in form and substance, sa special proceedings yan eh. So, alam mo yung ginawa ng House, kinukuha-kuha nila yung mga different concepts from special proceedings, from criminal law, pinagtagpi-tagpi nila. Ngayon, kay Marcos kasi, they did not find sufficiency in form and substance. Now, that has to be respected. You know why? Kasi to me, let's not be hypocritical. The Congress will act on its own political imperatives. The congressmen, I mean, will act on its own political imperatives. Kung gusto nilang i-impeach yan, and they want to initiate it, sabi lang ng Supreme Court, wala lang grave abuse. They can abuse. Congress can abuse. The House can abuse.
So in other words, Tony J, are you saying that during the impeachment complaint laban kay President Marcos, nagkaroon ng abuse of discretion dahil
No.
they belong to the same ruling
Not
party?
necessarily. What I'm saying is, if that is their decision, whether or not it is a partisan or political decision, it does not matter. They did not violate anything. Ngayon, yung kay Sara, nakasurpass kasi nung first stage eh. Yung sufficiency in form and substance. And therefore, it must now be referred to the plenary and it must be referred to the Committee on Justice for hearing.
I'll cut you short.
Ah.
Pero requirement ba talaga yung clarification hearing? Kasi sinasabi nga ni Attorney Ferdy kanina, it's not required nor it is prohibited, pero ang sabi nga niya,
Alam mo,
demolition to.
Itong problema, Panyero medyo tama rin naman itong, I hate to agree with the Attorney Topacio dahil I always disagree with whatever he is saying. But in this case, parang may tama rin naman yung sinasabi niya. Ang problema kasi doon sa ginawa ng Korte Suprema, katakot-takot ang binigay nilang rules where there were none in the Constitution. Dito sa House, pinakialaman nila kung paanong tumakbo yung initiation ng impeachment. Ngayon, ang House naman, napakahirap naman ipagtanggol. Kasi punong-puno yan ng mga magnanakaw. Punong-puno yan ng mga kurakot.
Teka,
Diba? How
baka-
can you defend?
Delikado,
How can you
delikado.
defend, for example, how can you defend the House of Representatives? Tuwan-tuwa sila eh. In a manner of speaking eto, nakaka-contribute ito sa cause ni Attorney Ferdy, pero what can I do? Yun rin ang tingin ko. The Supreme Court gave them a gift. Kasi, yung mga yan, these are clowns. And they want a circus. They always want a circus. With the live camera, no? Yung taga Bicol Saro, ganyan, tuwan-tuwa siya. Ganyan. Akala mo, dami-daming alam, di ba? Ipaliwanag. Pero, yan, ang nangyayari
We will
tuloy-
invite him. We will invite him next time.
Invite him here.
Sige.
Invite him here. Ang tingin ko, he's defending saldi ko eh. Anyway. Yun ang problema. Now, they have been given a chance. And this is not their own fault. Sabi ng Supreme Court i-hearing nyo yan. Bigyan nyo ng pagkakataon. Si Sara Duterte, hindi naman nila sinabi si Sara, the respondent, para dumipensa na siya agad. Yun ang sinabi ng Supreme Court. Where there was none. Wala namang ganong
Yes, yes.
requirement before eh. Kaya, the Supreme Court gifted these, mga crooked lawmakers
Aray ko po.
the gift of conducting themselves into a circus. Kaya ayan, that's what
Sige.
we're getting.
Okay. Father Robert.
Hindi naman sana ganyan dapat yan.
Maganda sinabi na meron daw clowns, merong circus. What's your reaction, Father Robert? Kasi remember, we are following a constitutional process. Now, for people like our respected gentleman here to say that it is a demolition job, it is a clown, it is a circus, ano po ba ang reaction natin?
JB, Sir D, I agree. Pero I have another term for them. Political opportunists. Hindi, ito totoo kasi nga, the 218 or so congressmen and women are there for the country or for themselves. That's up to you to decide. But for me, after having done so many causes against corruption, abuse of authority, etc., where politicians are involved, I still have to see, and there are a few who are there not for themselves. And I don't want to name names though. Kaya yung sinabi ni JB kanina, that Supreme Court on the impeachment said that it's primarily a legal action with political implications or consequences. Sabi ng Supreme Court, baliktad eh. It is more political than legal. So, I defer to disagree. Supreme Court. Why? Most of you in the Supreme Court are political appointees.
Yes.
So, what is that? All. Except for Leonen, who was not appointed there by Duterte.
Yeah, but he was politically appointed.
Yes, also. Therefore, by the nature of your appointment, you are not there out of legal consideration. You are there for political considerations by the the appointing power, di ba? Having said that, ano masasabi ko sa impeachment? The impeachment is a political. Primarily political. Tingnan niyo nangyari doon sa first impeachment last year. Transmit sa Senado, pagdating sa Senado, binalik ni Chis Escudero sa House at mabilis na nag-respond ang Supreme Court, it's unconstitutional. Ang bilis. Nag-usap ba sila? Tatanong ko, nag-usap ba sila? Was that coordinated? It is. Whether I saw it or not, nag-usap kung sino man ang kausap ni Chis sa Supreme Court at si Chis. At kung sino man yung kausap nila sa ibaba, nag-usap yung tatlo. Kaya, ano itong separation of powers? Of course, I don't have any evidence. I did not see anybody talking in some secluded, hidden place. But people conclude, parang coordinated. So, ano yung masasabi ng taong simbahan? Bakit nyo pinaglalaroan ng taong bayan? Yun lang. Ako, sa hulihan, was Bongbong Marcos better than Duterte? Ang sinasabi ng mga Duterte is better than Bongbong Marcos, kaya ibalik si Duterte in the person of Sara. Is that a legal or a political statement? Is that a morally, spiritually, social scientifically justifiable claim? I think if you analyze that from the moral, cultural, spiritual stand, you can say, I will maintain what I said. Because of the consequence of 6 years of the father, nawala ng rule of law. Nawalan ng respect sa human rights. Kaya where are we now? Nung panahon na yon, if I may say, I was parish priest of Pinyahan. Hindi ko matanggap na kung kailan COVID-19, 12 sa aking mga parokyano, pinatay na mga pulis galing sa Station 10. At bakit? Nakita ko ba mga pulis sa Station 10? Ang nagsasabi yung mga taga-NIA, mga taga-Station 10 po. So, what was that? Policemen killing ordinary citizens and putting cardboards ng laban when there was no weapon, there was no struggle, basta lalagay mo yung... So, sa akin, the political and the legal parang obfuscates, puts a smoke screen on something more essential, the moral and the spiritual.
Wow. And with that, I think we need to address some questions from media. So, alam niyo po, pag itong tatlong kasama ko rito, magsama kami, I think 3 hours will not be enough. Just discussing and disagreeing to agree or agreeing to disagree. So, let me open the floor to questions from media. Go ahead, please, sir.
Good morning, sir. TJ Mendoza from Net25. Naaresto na po si Zaldico. Nagpahayag na po ang Senado na handa silang imbitahan si Zaldico sakaling makabalik man siya dito through as si Senate Panfilo Lacson, sinabi niya po yun. Pero kanina rin nakausap po namin si Kong Terry Ridon if willing naman silang imbitahan sa House para magkaroon ng pagdinig rin. Pero ang sabi ni Kong Terry ay papaubayan na raw po nila sa Ombudsman. May we get any comment po with that statement?
Alam mo, double-edged yung, double-bladed yung pagkaka-capture kay Zaldico eh. Kasi the problem with Zaldico now is that of course he is going to try to save his skin. Di ba? Nag-upload na ng mga video messages yan exonerating himself and telling the country na ang nagputos niyan si Romualdez at saka si BBM. Di ba? Yun ang sinasabi niya eh. So, kung ano ba, sasabihin ng House na tatawagin siya, under what committee? Kaya, under what committee? Siguro. Siguro. But, it could also give Zaldico a platform to be able to propagate his own version of his story. Di ba? Na, wala akong kasalanan dito. Inutusan lang ako ni Romualdez. At saka, syempre, to add more leverage to his bargaining position, isasangkutan niya si BBM. Sasabihin niya, kasama yung presidente rito, get the person on top. Diba? Kaya medyo, you have to be also a little bit worried about Zaldico. I am personally happy that Zaldico is finally caught. Kasi, he must be brought here, not for the purpose of listening to what he has to say. Kasi, polluted na yan eh. But for the purpose of him answering to accountability, to be able to suffer the penalties for the plunder that he has done. Siya ang chairman ng Appropriations Committee. Hindi mangyayari lahat yung mga nakawan na ginawa nila sa flood control projects without the indispensable participation of Zaldico. So Zaldico must face the country now. And if he has any conscience left in him, total, delikado naman ang buhay niya, sabihin na lang niya yung totoo. Sabihin niya lahat ang totoo. Huwag niyang dagdagan, huwag niyang bawasan, sabihin niya lahat ang totoo. I hope he will do that.
Attorney Ferdy, please.
Well, that is what I have been saying, kaninang double standard. The motives that JV, by the way, before I begin, if JV says he hates to agree with me, I always love it when JV agrees with me. And I always love it when I agree with JV because we agree on so very few things. Anyway, yan ang sinasabi ko pong double standard with all due respect to JV. Yung motivation na sinasabi niya kay Zaldico to save his own skin ay pwede ring sabihin kay Madriaga. That's number one, di ba? He's trying to save his own skin. Number two, why would we block the testimony of Zaldico when, sabi ni JV, this will give him a platform to propagate his own version? Hindi ba ang katotohanan, marami-raming versions at titingnan mo kung anong version ang totoo? Why are we listening to the version of Madriaga and not Zaldico? Ito pong si Saldico, hindi naman hearing ito sa impeachment. He will be called as a resource person to the House or the Senate, and there he will be subjected to probing questions from all the learned senators there and all the learned members of the House doon sa own version ng Blue Ribbon ng House of Representatives. Alam niyo po, ito nga ang nagtataka ko, ano? Bakit pagka makakasira kay BBM, binablock? Bakit pag kay Sara Duterte, hindi binablock? All versions should be given prominence. Para yan yung kung napanood niyo yung pelikulang Rashomon. Maraming versions ng truth eh. Then titignan mo, ano bang paniwala dito? Kung si Ping ay iimbitahin niya si Saldico, imbitahin niya rin yung 18 Marines kasi kino-corroborate noon yung version ni Saldico. Gamitin din niya ang powers ng Senado para hanapin si Gutesa. Mag-imbita rin siya ng mga kontra. Yung mga nagsasabing sinungaling si Saldico at sinungaling yung 18 Marines. Diyan lang po natin malalaman kung ano talaga ang totoo. I-cross-examine nyo, i-background check nyo, but all should be invited. And that is the reason why Ping cannot get the signatures necessary for a partial report. Una-una, the concept of a partial report is ridiculous. Paano kung partial report may dumating na development? Parang yan, si Saldico dumating. Bakit gusto mong ipalabas yung partial report? Baka maiba pa conclusion noon with intervening circumstances. Yan ang kalokohan ni Ping eh. Bakit isusisisihin niya yung mga kapwa niya senador? Ayaw daw pumirma. Wala pong obligasyon under the Constitution pumirma ng kahit anong report ang senador. Whether they sign or not is subject to their own individual discretion. Parang yung formally report ni Big Gordon, walang gustong pumirma, dalawa lang yata sila. That is the essence of a collegial body. Hindi porket ikaw ang chairman, that gives you the right to impose upon your fellow senators. Na pirmahan nyo ito, kung hindi, you are not doing your duty. Kalokohan yung sinasabi ni Senator Ping ngayon. So, ang akin din dito, invite Saldico to the House in the same manner that you have invited Madriaga, you have invited so many witnesses there. Invite Saldico to the House, invite the 18 Marines, invite yung mga congressmen na tinatanggi nila. Sina Stella Kimbo na hindi sila tumanggap, si Martin, imbitahin nyo. Lahat imbitahin nyo. And i-televise nyo. Let the people decide who is telling the truth and who is not telling the truth. Let the people decide because the people are smarter than this elite think they are. Matalino po ang taong bayan.
Father Robert, you want to react on the Zaldico development?
Opo, si Madriaga sa si Saldico, hindi ko po sila pareho kakilala personally. So, nagsasabi ba na totoo si Madriaga? Nagsasabi ba na totoo si Saldico? Ngayon, pag kinuha sa isang forum katulad yan sa Kongreso, there's so much pressure on the person who is standing at the witness stand, who is in the witness stand, to save his neck. No, so whether it's Madriaga or Saldico, pero yun ang problema. Kailangan talaga go beyond the political and the legal and get to the truth. So kung totoo yung sinasabi ni Madriaga, therefore, nandun yung prima facie, probable cause, tapos wag nang masyado makasaya ng panahon, i-transmit na. Kaya lang, ibang usapan pag nakarating na sa Senado, natatakot tayo. Pero parang kasi, I think, gusto ko lang sabihin at the end of this discussion, hindi masyado na pag-uusapan yung moral and cultural impact ng lahat ng ito. Let me just give you two short stories. No? This happened to me personally. Nung ang presidente si Duterte, lahat ng mga bata doon sa parokya ko nagmumura ng PI. Lahat ng mga bata nagmumura ng PI. Eh kami mga pare, bawal sa amin magmura ng PI. Ngayon, nagmumura na ng mga bata. Okay. Pangalawa, during the Duterte administration, early 2016, nagsisimula na yung war against drugs. Nakasakay ako sa isang taxi driver. Sabi ng taxi driver, Father, okay itong presidente natin. Talagang pag drug addict, drug pusher, drug lord, dapat patayin. Dapat patayin without due process. Opo, kasi ang mga pulis naman, alam naman na sila kung sino dapat patayin eh. Eh talaga, alam ng pulis kung sino dapat patayin. So, he went on and on, extolling the virtues of President Duterte until I asked him this question. Paano na po kapag yung anak nyo po ay nahuling nagdodroga o nagtutulok ng droga? Ano gagawin nyo? Dadaling ko sa pulis at sa harapan ko, hihingin ko sa pulis na patayin ang anak ko. That was really the depths of my desperation. For a father to say, it is okay, killing is okay pumatay. Maski na sariling anak ko, pwedeng patayin kasi okay yung moral campaign ni Duterte. It was a moral campaign. That was their narrative. Drug is destroying the moral fiber of our country. So therefore, we have to eliminate the cause from the very root. Patayin ng lahat hanggang sa drug lord. Pero hindi naman nakakarating sa drug lord.
Panyero,
That's,
may singit ko lang.
Sandali lang.
Ah?
We have 2 more questions from media.
Oh, hindi, kasi yung kay,
Due to-
yung kay Saldico, meron nga palang technical problem yan, ha? Kasi Saldico has a warrant of arrest from the Sandigan Bayan. So, any invitation by both houses will have to go through the Sandigan. Hindi pwede yan imbitahin ng walang approval ng Sandigan Bayan.
Yes.
Parang si Madriaga.
Correct. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm Salvery Curame from Ronda Balita Pilipinas and Tagline Vlog. Tatanong ko lang po kay Attorney Topacio at saka kay Attorney regarding po doon sa file po ng impeachment doon po sa lower house. Nung una-unang batch na nag-file ng impeachment laban kay VP Sara, 100% tinanggap po. Bakit po yung pangalawang batch na they knows na nandun po lahat ng ebidensya, nagdahilan po sila na wala ang secretariat, hindi po matanggap yung impeachment for the second time around, na yun po yung magpo-prove kung ano ang mayroon doon sa impeachment na dinala nila Attorney Topacio laban po doon sa impeachment ni PBBM, di ba? First time, nag-file ng case kay VP Sara yung first batch, tinanggap nila laban VP Sara. For the second time around, dumating po yung second batch, nag-file ng impeachment laban kay PBBM. Hindi po yan tinanggap dahil mali-maleta po yung dalang ebidensya. What would you say regarding with that sa pangyayari pong yan, Attorney Topacio and Attorney? Thank
Well,
you po.
prescinding from the issue of the quality and quantity of evidence, mag-focus na lang tayo doon sa procedure. Para sa amin po ay dapat tinanggap because the Constitution says it is the Secretary General. Office of the Secretary General, hindi yung Secretary General mismo. Kung wala yung Secretary General, hindi naman niya dinala yung buong opisina niya. Pagdating naman namin doon, may deputy siya, may mga desk naman doon, may computer, may printer, andun naman yung opisina, dapat tinanggap. But anyway, going to the impeachment again, ako po ay veterano na ng impeachment. Many of you may not remember that I was one of the 2 persons who successfully impeached then COMELEC Chairman Andres Reyes. At I agree again with JV. Ito po ay political eh. Yung amin po, ito kwento ko lang very briefly with the kind permission of Attorney Mison. Yung amin po, they tried to block it sa House. Nagbotohan, insufficient daw in form. Okay. Ngayon, hindi nag-agree yung House Justice Committee Chairman, then the late Ray Umali. Ang ginawa namin, dinala namin sa plenary, overwhelmingly, the House Committee was overruled and the articles were transmitted to the Senate. Ito ngayon, this is where the present situation comes in. Di ba sabi nila gusto nila mabilis? Bakit hindi pa nila gawin yon? Bakit hindi pa nila i-transmit agad sa Senate para mag-trial na? Hindi nila gagawin kasi gagamitin na nila yung hearing para sirain si VP Sara. Kayang-kaya nila yan. Don't let anyone tell you different 1/3. Sisiw. Di ba? Pero bakit hindi? Again, sinisira nila si Sara, ginagamit nila yung hearings. Thank you po.
Yes,
Ako
go ahead.
naman, instead of answering, tatanungin ko yung panyero ko. Bakit ba kasi ayaw humarap ni VP Sara doon sa hearing? Alam mo, nung merong Quadcom, hinaharap ni VP Sara yung Quadcom. Di ba? Inaano nga niya, piloso po niya lahat yung mga congressman doon eh. Binabarumbado niya eh. Forgive me for saying, minsan ang dating na parang binabastos na niya, di ba? Quadcom yun ha, Quadcom.
Yeah.
Ito, Justice Committee. Binigyan siya kasi sabi ng Supreme Court eh. Hindi naman yan nasa konstitusyon, sabi ng Supreme Court. Kayo, House Justice Committee, at every stage of the proceedings, bigyan nyo ng pagkakataon ang respondent na sumagot. Kasi yan ang due process. Kaya lang kasi, alam niyo yung due process, you will find that in Section 1 of Article 3 of the Constitution. It is only available if there is a threat to life, liberty, and property. Impeachment does not involve any of those 3. Kasi yung impeachment, tinatanggal mo yung high official na hindi mo pwedeng ihabla. You cannot sue these people eh. You cannot. So, you have to first remove them by means of impeachment. Ngayon, ang point ko dito, doon sa stage ng House, talagang political yan, Father. Wala na tayong magagawa doon kahit i-define ng Supreme Court yan. Hindi! Primarily legal yan. Sabi ni Chief Justice, yung legal, doon na kayo sa legal pagdating sa Senate. Kasi dyan na yung evidence eh. Dyan na yung trial. Kaya tama rin naman si Panyero, huwag kayong mag-trial dyan sa Justice Committee. Ang tanong ko lang, bakit pa ayaw humarap ni Vice President sa Justice Committee? Sabi niya, there will be a bloodbath. Iniisang patak ng dugo, wala akong makita. Kasi nga, ayaw humarap eh. Has she turned chicken?
I will answer that very incisively. Yung right to appear, she does not want to go there because she does not have to. That is the right of every person, either in a criminal case, a civil case, or in any case. Okay, I will throw the question back, not to my good friend, but to those in the house saying na bakit siya ayaw humarap. Luis Tro, bakit yung asawa mo nung na-accuse ng rape, di mo pinaharap, tinago mo, inamin mo di ba? Oh, number one. Number two, Delima, nung ikaw ay iniimbestigahan ng House Committee doon sa so-called believed drug trade, di ka rin humarap. Oh, we respected that. Kami ang complainants doon. Bakit ngayon you turn around and say, dapat it should be taken against the Vice President? Hindi humaharap si VP dahil nakita na niya doon sa Quadcom that she is just legitimizing the proceedings. Number two, she now has a pending petition before the Supreme Court questioning the very proceedings na sinasabing ayaw niyang humarap. By going there, it may be interpreted as tantamount to a waiver of her causes of action before the Supreme Court. So that is the short answer. Very logical, she's well within her rights. There is a pending case at ayaw niyang paggamit sa mga, ikaw na nagsabi ng term, ayaw magpagamit sa mga clowns, di ba? Sabi nga nila, di ba? When a clown becomes president, the clown does not become presidential. The palace becomes a circus.
Father Robert, please react. And then we have one last question after this. Go ahead, sir.
Like father, like daughter. Ayaw rin umarap ni Duterte sa ICC. Di ba? Ayaw umarap ng daughter. Tanong ko, is the refusal to face the court, ICC or the House Committee, is that a political or a legal or a moral decision? Kung political, may political advantage eh. Yung mga pro Duterte nandoon, nagrarally kung ano-ano sasabihin. Kasi kawawa si Digong. Pag humarap yan bubugbugin, etc. Yung gano'n rin sasabihin ng mga supporters ni Sara, huwag ka nang humarap, ma'am. Malakas ang political base mo. Political. Legal, they have the right not to appear. Pero moral, kung you are not guilty, face the music and sit there until proven that you are guilty and or not guilty.
If I may respond very quickly, yung line na kung walang tinatago but ayaw humarap is the biggest BS that has ever been peddled, Marami pong reasons. Even the Supreme Court has recognized in a number of cases na flight is not necessarily an indication of guilt. Maraming kaso yan. I can give that to you. Just not right now, but you can Google it up. Okay. Now, yung sinasabi ni ni Reverend Robert Reyes na moral, alam niyo po, kaya tayo secular country. Our rules are an amalgamation of legal, political, and moral. Kasi kung puro moral na lamang, para tayong mga Muslim countries sa Sharia, magnakaw ka, putulin yung kamay mo, di ba? Manilip ka, dukwatin yung mata mo, bulagin ka, di ba? Gano'n na lang tayo. Hindi pwedeng puro moral. In the same way, hindi puro legal, hindi pwedeng puro political. Balanse po yan. So, legally, na-explain ko na po, hindi ko na uulitin, na they are well within their rights. Yung kay Duterte, hindi ko ma-discuss masyado dahil may pending case po sa Korte Suprema at magiging subjudice. And again, with all due respect to Attorney JV, the Supreme Court is entitled to full faith and credit. Kahit even if you disagree, wag tayo sanang magbibigay ng any insinuations or allusions na something is going on aside from the legitimate processes of adjudicating cases. Lalo na kung wala tayong pruweba. Sabi nga nila, The Supreme Court is not final because it is infallible. It is infallible because it is final. We may debate to death yung mga kaso roon, pero pag naglabas na po yan, wag na po nating salaulain yung motibo unless may pruweba po tayo. Okay, so yun po ang sinasabi ko. They are well within the rights. Yung sa ICC, there are jurisdictional, political, and other questions na nasa Supreme Court. Hindi pa naman po ako makapag-komento. But rest assured, hindi po dahil guilty kaya ayaw humarap. Not necessarily the case. And I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me on that. Salamat po.
One last question from media before we pack it up for today. Go ahead, please, sir.
Good morning. Ed Tan po ng Road News Tabloid. Ako po ay nagugulumihanan sa inyong lahat dyan sapagkat napakasimple lang ng probable cause ay parang nahihirapan kayo. Umabot pa ng pustahan. Siguro mariin po sa sunod imbitahan nyo na lang yung graduate ng Wambol University. Sapagkat mismo nagsalita yung Korte Suprema, hindi humubra doon sa graduate ng Wambol University. Attorney Topacio, ako pwede ho bang isama ko na isang
Hindi lang graduate yun, partner. Siya pang Dean of the College of Law ng Wambol University. The same person who said, pwede nating i-disregard yung order ng Supreme Court.
Yun na ho. Ano ho ngayon ang stand niyo po doon? May order na po yung Supreme Court. Bakit tinuloy pa rin yung impeachment kay Sara Duterte?
Walang order. Hinihintay ng Senado yung articles of impeachment kung makaka-find ng probable cause. And I agree with Attorney Topacio. Doon na papunta magkakaroon ng finding yan. And to my mind, whether or not there is a finding, it's their prerogative. After all, the Constitution gave them the power, the exclusive. Ibig sabihin, pwera kayo lahat. Siya lang ang pwede mag-initiate. Walang pwede makialam. In fact, can Congress abuse its prerogative? Yes, it can abuse. Yes. Just not make it grave. Kasi pag naging grave na, iba na yan. That is whimsical, capricious, tyrannical to the extent that you are not doing your duty anymore. That you are just oppressing the respondent. Yan ang grave abuse. Yan lang ang pwedeng mag-step in ng Supreme Court. But if the abuse is simple abuse, Congress can do it.
I agree.
Under the Constitution, pwede yan. Ngayon, the Supreme Court naman can make mistakes Kaya nga lang, sabi nga ni Atty. Topacio, that mistake is law of the land. Wala tayong magagawa. Unless it is reversed. It is reversed. Kasi nire-reverse din naman ng Supreme Court ang sarili niya. Pagka nagbago ang position yan, for example, re-reverse niya yung doctrine, aalisin niya yan. Ngayon, dapat kasi, the Supreme Court, if I don't want to advise the Supreme Court, but this is just a comment from a common citizen, not necessarily a lawyer, no? Na considering one, the Supreme Court justices are themselves impeachable. So if they make impeachment difficult, they grant themselves a favor. Kasi pabor sa kanila yun Pagka pinahirapan nila, kamukha ngayon, yun ang sinasabi ni Senate President Soto, which by the way, I think, wag na natin ad hominem, I think he's been saying sensible things about the Supreme Court decision. And he has the prerogative to say that. After all, he is Senate President. Co-equal sila Huwag sabihin ng Supreme Court, mas magaling siya kay Soto. Hindi pwede Dahil ang power nila equal under the Constitution. I-balance mo yan. So he can say it. And number two, the Supreme Court should have been very sensitive about the fact that most of them, I think 12 or 13 of them, were appointees of former President Rodrigo Duterte. And therefore, whatever they do, they should be careful kasi yung beneficiary ng kanilang decision is a daughter of the very person who appointed them. In theory kasi, when a member of the Supreme Court, or for that matter, any COMELEC, constitutional body, is appointed by, say, the President, it is, whatever political debt is cut, dapat tapos na yon. When one is given the oath, then the loyalty of that official must be to the country to the oath. He must be independent and autonomous and not beholden to the appointing power. But, you cannot take away from the minds of the people that if they do this and it benefits Duterte, and most of them are Duterte appointees, a conclusion, fairly or unfairly, may be made. So that we were asking the Supreme Court sana, restraint, more prudence naman, more caution naman. So now, there is now again another petition by Sara Duterte. And I think the Duterte supporters, the so-called TTS, are expecting another favorable decision from the Supreme Court. That will be the last nail in the coffin. Pagka yan ay agreement, maliwanag pa sa sikat ng araw, di ba? Na medyo may pinapabura na dito. Let Congress do its job. Let it file the articles if there's already 1/3 vote from the plenary. And then, let us hear the trial before the Senate sitting as a court. That is the legal aspect of impeachment. Because now, the case is before a court. Congress was just a committee and a plenary. It is not a court. Pag sumampa na yan sa court, Senate, impeachment court, then that is the time when the full panoply of due process must be respected and upheld. Kasi dyan, pwede mo nang i-cross-examine ang mga witnesses. Kaya si Madriaga, hindi mo talaga pwedeng sabihin kung credible yan o hindi. Pwede mo lang i-comment, as an unprofessional observation, parang credible, ganyan. But you cannot really test his credibility because in the House, in the Justice Committee, clarificatory hearing does not allow cross-examination. You cannot test the credibility of the witness. If trial commences in the Senate, that is the occasion when the lawyers of Sara Duterte, like the eminent Attorney Topacio, can test the credibility of Madriaga whether he is saying the truth or not. Kasi meron na hong cross-examination.
And on that note, I think time is running out. And like I said, we will never have enough time if we have Father Robert, Attorney Ferdy, and Attorney JV in one table. Maubusan pa tayo ng oras. I think I like the way Father Robert said that it has to be, the impeachment process is both political, legal, and moral. And ako naman, on the part of whatever statements has been said here, it's very difficult to ascribe any wrongdoing unless there are evidence, right? Because we are governed by the rule of law. Very difficult to ascribe misgivings or even mga hidden transactions. Here in Everything for Good, here in Impact Publishing, here at the agenda, what we are after for is really justice. And justice can be had either here, applying the law of the land, or even the law of the Lord. Kaya ang Attorney JV, there is still a higher court than the Supreme Court, but it is not up to us to decide. So with that, maraming salamat po sa inyong tagapakinig. Mabuhay ang Panginoon, mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay ang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.